Okay, good morning and welcome to another day here on planet Earth. This is the Solo Gardeners podcast and I am your host, the Merry Gardener. Welcome. This is the new podcast launched today and I'm very excited. I've got lots of things planned. Just a little introduction. I am Peter Merrywest. I have a YouTube channel called The Merry Gardener. And I've been running a gardening business for about 30 years. I started when I was about 14 with my dad. And I had a few breaks here and there. Went off to uni, came back, realised after getting into graphic design, I don't really like being stuck inside with 4 grey walls. And I decided to get back into gardening, back to my roots. And around about 2005, 2006, after dabbling with various kind of odd jobs, we're always working with my dad part-time, I decided to go full-time gardening. So from 2006 I set up Garden Angel and then never looked back. And then literally that first season I was able to quit my part-time job and I went full-time gardening. And I had a van and all sorts, and my dad and my parents helped me get my first van, and from then it's been crazy. It's been a crazy ride, and I'm basically here to share my journey, share some things that I've learned along the way, and also just be a bit more real in terms of no one's perfect. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve, but I haven't by no way means perfected this industry, if you like. I've got some flaws and I reveal them, and hopefully I'm on a journey to better myself, better my business, and hopefully help a few people along the way as well. Maybe we can help each other. The plan is to basically interview people who inspire me, people who I find funny, people who I think that, I've got something to share. So I kind of want to be that bridge between a little bit of advice, but a little bit of honesty to say, look, I'm not perfect. Let's get together, let's join together, and let's kind of bring each other up in some ways. So that's where I'm at. Today, we're talking about winter, because we're in the thick of winter. It is about the 20th of January. It is, I think, easy to say that winter is the hardest time for gardeners. It's hardest time for your mental health. It's the hardest time to find work if you're not used to that. If you're in like your first season 1 or 2, it's really difficult. And I've been through all of that and I've come out the other side, although I still haven't perfected it. But the way I look at it is my dad tends to be my inspiration. My dad's a gardener. And again, my dad's not the perfect gardener, but he's a good person, and I try and follow him. He tries to look after his customers, and I kind of, my goal is to emulate him. He's got so many like skills and attributes that I really admire, and some of them I have, some of them I don't, but I'm always trying to better myself and trying to think, okay, what can I do to then kind of reach that? And the thing is, this is great inspiration. My dad's currently in Florida, and ironically, my brother, who's a year and a half older than me, he's also on holiday. And they've gone away for like a month or 2, and I'm like, I've never done that, but I really would like to. I've never done it. So my ultimate goal for the future is to get to the point where I've had such a darn good summer that I can go away for 1 or 2 months. But if you're not in that place, like financially, or it's not always financial, because I'm separated from my wife, and I see my little one at the weekend. So for me to go away, it's not even that possible. It's not. I can do it, but I don't want to be away for that long. Maybe a week or so. I'd like to go away, and I do. I manage to get holidays here and there, but my goal is eventually, maybe when my daughter's a little bit older. My son's now in his 20s, so he's kind of doing his own thing. That's fine, but I would like the idea by the time I'm like in my 50s, I can take a couple of months off, and that's my goal. That's one of the tips in there, is saving. But let's get rolling with what we're here to do. Advice on how to survive winter. I'm not talking about the cold weather. I'm not talking about mental health. I'm talking about actually finding jobs. My first rule of thumb when it comes, bearing in mind, you do what you want. You do however you want to do it. I'm just telling you the way I do it. And if you can take any little tips or pointers from that, fine, and use it. But there's a lot of things that maybe you think that I do that you don't like. And that's fine. Just take the snippets you like and drop all the others. Or just find your own way. It's fine. Or text me. Tell me maybe I've missed something. Give me a shout. Shout me out on social and say, look, you missed something here. Or maybe you didn't think about that. Which people, I've been talking about this on YouTube, and people have, like, you know, a few comments and points about certain things I've said. I'm fine. Go for it. You if you've got a better way, go for it. So my main rule of thumb for me personally is I don't stop my clients in winter. So a lot of gardeners, when they first start out, as soon as it hits December and the grass stops growing, they think to themselves, so generally, from this perspective, I'm thinking, you've got a client who you only cut their grass. That's very common. I just went to cut the grass. But they have other things in their garden. And generally, if you're just cutting someone's grass, I'm constantly looking at the other parts of the garden that I'm not doing and thinking, okay, that is an opportunity for me to transition from cutting grass. As soon as it hits December, I will literally transition straight into leaf clearing. And as soon as all the leaves dropped, then you go, right, what other areas in that garden that need improving? And I will do that. And I will swap out those jobs. So the theory is to not stop your clients in winter, but you completely transform their garden, which not a lot of the gardeners they've had before never have done that. They've just stopped and then just suffered and struggled through winter. You don't have to do that. You can keep all of your clients going through the whole of winter. Just perfect their garden. Become a perfectionist. That's my mindset. What can I do? And I haven't had any clients that have complained about that. They absolutely love it because their garden looks tip top by the end of winter. And I'm talking about you're repairing fences, you're pressure washing, you're re-edging, you're clearing under bushes, you're looking at fences and going, okay, your panel's falling down there, I'm going to replace your panel for you. Obviously, you communicate with your client and you speak to them. And if any client explicitly says they want to cancel, that's absolutely fine. I'll point to them and say, well, winter is a good time to get on top of these jobs. If you're happy for me to continue, that's fine. I'm not going to push anyone into doing something they want to do. But that is my number one goal. Once you've nailed that part of it, you've got your bread and butter throughout the whole of winter. And then you'll just find the odd gap in here that you've got to fill out. And so what I would do with my gaps, my gap rule is I move the gaps. I don't let gaps go by. So I'm looking at my diary and I've got a gap on Tuesday and we're now Monday. So it's going to be tricky to try and nail a job into a new job into Tuesday. So what I'll do, I'll just go, right, what's happening Friday? I'm going to move Friday into Tuesday. That gives me more time to then find a job to fill out in Friday. So you're moving your gaps away. Like that. Move your gaps away. Chuck them into the future. You don't want to let a gap part. Personally, look, do what you want. If you fancy a day off, go for it. Go for your life. It is tough out there. And you think, okay, you think that's going to be bad weather on that day. Maybe I'll put my gap there and just have a day off and go out with the kids. That's fine. Go for it. Do it. It's all good. I've done it myself. But I'm just saying, if you've got bills to pay and you've got responsibilities, push some gaps away, baby. And then once I've done that, then you position yourself time. That gives you enough time then to go through your diary. So you can do this however far back you want. And I'm talking looking back into old diaries. Personally, my diary is online. So all I have to do is go online and just look at some clients. And generally, I'm looking for one-off jobs that I did throughout that year. And I haven't spoke to them for a few months. Sometimes it could be 6 months. So I get people asking me to just do a one-off clear out on their garden once every year. And sometimes I get to the end of the year and I think, I I've done her garden for the last 3 years, a big one-off jungle clearance, and she hasn't called me. Maybe she's forgot. Maybe she's lost my number. So I will contact her and say, would you like a winter tidy up? Yes, please. Let's fill that in the gap. That's Friday's gap filled. And you just keep doing that, and you can fill out your whole diary for winter with that. And a lot of the times, sometimes I'm earning more money in the winter months. Actually, no, it's not true. You can fill gaps if you are actually persevering and you're hungry for work. You can find those opportunities, and they are everywhere. You just need to look. So they're my main 2 tips. Those things those 3 things you can action right away. And I put them at the beginning of this podcast because we're in the thick of it. We all are. Yeah, I just wanted to say, look, I struggled. I really struggled in the first few years. And another thing I did is, if you really are struggling and you've got a van, your van essentially is a money-making machine. If you emptied your van, you can use that for rubbish clearance. You can use that for removals. Vans are very useful, like one-off deliveries. All we do is just put your name out there, just speak to people, do a bit of networking, like on Facebook and stuff. That is a great tip as well. So then we're going to dive into what would you say, how would you word it to your client when you text them? So if you haven't spoke to them in a while, I would literally just, I'm never pushy. I would just say to them, hi Jane, I just noticed that I probably wouldn't say that. As a hi Jane, I've got a few gaps that I want to fill in the diary. I noticed we haven't spoken in a while. Did you want me to book you in? And then say, give me a shout and let me know, and I'll book you in. Thanks very much, Pete. And I'll put gardener, because a lot of the time they may have misplaced your number, or they've got your name, but they can't remember who you were. So I would put gardener, just so they know who it is. And they quit. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that. Completely forgot. My mind was all over the place. Thank you very much. They're thanking you because they know, like, and trust you because you've already worked for them. It's like genius. So you've got your gaps. What also would be a good idea is what I like to call preemptive quoting. And you've got your regular clients and you're seeing them every week. You can see what's going on in the garden, and you're looking for opportunities. And so like last year, I noticed, so a lot of my clients, they pay like £50 and we do a certain job, but there are other things going on. And a lot of these clients have big gardens, and they do like to spend their money to make the garden look better. And this guy's garden, his lawn was looking a bit patchy. So I preemptive quoted. I suggested that we do aerate, top seed, top dress, and we did that around about October. And it ended up being about just over £1,000 with all the top. I think we had like, do we have like three ton bags of topsoil, and we got, I think it was 10 kilos of seed. And it was a chunky job, and it was really nice to get that in winter. And the good thing about doing it in winter is you don't have to worry about watering. And it's just literally once you've laid it down, you've leveled it off. And we did a top dress into the holes of the aeration, and then we did a top dress on top of the soil, and then we tampered it down. And we actually rolled it, because if you roll it, it keeps it nice and solid, and it helps it germinate better. And then by the time spring comes around, little shoots come up, and the garden was looking lovely. So this was last year, actually. It's not this year. This was the last year. So I'm actually parked outside my house, my flat, because I've decided this is going to be a mobile podcast, which is strange. So I was a little bit nervous about doing this podcast because it's something new and it's something quite informative. And I reached out to a couple of gardeners that I follow and like, and I asked them to maybe do a little voice clip. And I have got one voice clip coming up, so if you stay till the end, there's a little surprise for you. Yeah, so that's quite exciting. Where were we? So we've done the preemptive quoting. I'm trying to remember. My brain is. I was going to script it out, and I tried it, and I tried scripting it, and I just sound so bloody wooden. I listened to it I recorded last night, and then I listened to it, and I was just like, what the heck? I just sound so rubbish. So I've gone, right, I'm just going to freewheel it, and I'm just like using my brain. I've got the worst memory though, so how am I going to remember all these things? So I've got the main ones in there. We've got the gaps. We've done texting your clients, texting your old clients. One thing I haven't covered is a good little trick that I like to use is if your clients, not all your clients know everything that you do, so you might have like added skills over the years. Like I like brought a new, so not all that, I don't own a pressure washer at the moment because it broke, and I just tend to hire it out when I need it. So, but a lot of my clients don't know that I do pressure washing. So what I would do, I would think of maybe some, it could be just one new thing that you're adding to your services. I would send a blanket text out to all my regular clients and all my past, basically all my clients. I would send a post out. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we have recently added pressure washing as a new service. So you could have a few ones. You could add pressure washing, gutter clearing, and fence repairs. We've added them services to our business this year. If there's any of those that you would like us to book you in for, please keep us in mind. We've got a few gaps in the diary, so give us a shout. See, these are very loose. They're not like, there's no pressure. It's just informing your clients, because if they don't know, they'll find someone else and think, oh, we really like Pete. We love what he does. We trust him. I'd love for you to come and do this. Like all the time I get people asking me, can you do this? Can you do that? Some things I can do, some things I can't, because they don't know. And if they don't know, then all the others don't know as well. So it's worth doing little things like that. Just the little things can make big differences. Where were we? So I'm now racking my brain again. We're pretty much there, really. I just want you to feel that you're not alone. You know, it can feel alone when you're a solo gardener. It does feel lonely sometimes, and I know how that feels. I definitely know how that feels. But I'm lucky in the terms that my dad's a gardener, my brother's a gardener, my brother's kids are gardeners, and I chat to them regularly. And I think if you don't have that, if you don't have like family structure and stuff, then I urge you to go out and connect with other gardeners. I've connected with a couple recently, which, you know, I'm really excited about. I've connected with the tattoo gardener, and his name's Pete. And I've got a good feeling about that guy. I like him a lot. And he regularly posts. He's up and coming on the YouTube scene. So hopefully we're going to meet up and have an interview together in the van, because I can drive. Hopefully he's not too far. I don't know if he's that far away. I can drive over to him and we can have an interview. And you know, this is how things start. But even if you're not on YouTube, whatever, just there's another guy I've connected. There's another Peter. I think I've mentioned it on a YouTube chat on one of my videos. He's from Hungary. His name's Peter, or pronounced Peter. Peter. I have to kind of force that one out because I want to say Peter every time I think of him. But we meet at the petrol pumps every now and again. We have a chat and we have a laugh. It's just having those little connections, you know, help you along the way. Yeah, we've got lots of things coming up. So I've got the interview hopefully with the tattooed gardener. I'm trying to get into a nice rhythm. And I want to interview the country gardener who runs the rustic badger also. I'd like to interview him. And I want to say thank you to both Peter, actually, to the Tattoo Gardener and the Rustic Badger. They've both texted me, because I said to them I was a little bit nervous about doing the podcast, and they both text me and give me some just nice words of encouragement. So yeah, I'm positive, and I hope you guys are positive too, and I hope some of these tips are going to help you. So we're coming to a close. I'm going to play you the surprise clip. Now I've got to try and pull this up without losing my my video here. Let's see if I can do it. Okay, I found it. Here we go. So this is the Bearded Growers. I reached out to them and I said to them, would you mind doing a voice clip? I'm a bit nervous, but I mentioned that I went on their radio show, the Bearded Growers radio show, a couple of years ago, and it was the beginning of my thought process for starting up my own podcast. And I was so nervous going on that show, but I had a great time. Those guys are just so laid back, they're so natural, and it just inspired me. But it's taken me 2 years to kind of build up to that. So I started doing my medium latte extra hot episodes, and that was kind of my build up to getting more confident. And I think I've got there. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still papping myself. But here we go. I'm going to play you the Bearded Growers. Very sweet. I'm very grateful. Thank you very much for recording this for me. And I want you to listen to this.
Hi, this is JJ from Bearded Growers. This is a little message out there for our wonderful mate, the Messy Gardener, Pete. Absolutely thrilled that you're doing your Solo Gardeners podcast.
I'm going to pause you there. JJ, it's the Merry Gardener. It's not the Messy Gardener. And if any gardener has called themselves the Messy Gardener, I urge you to change your name. Maybe maybe you need to put your glasses on. Let's go back.
For our wonderful mate, the Messy Gardener, Pete. Absolutely thrilled that you're doing your Solo Gardeners podcast, and we can't wait to listen to all the advice, interviews, and your chats with other individual gardeners. It is a thankless task at times, what you guys do, but you know what? We love everything that any gardener does, and if you're doing it solo, oh my God, we tip our hat to you, sir. You are an absolute legend. We had you on our show a couple of years ago now, and we really enjoyed some of the stories you had to tell. They were hilarious. We're looking forward to more of the same with your new fantastic Solo Gardeners podcast. Catch you soon. JJ from Bearded Growers, out.
Thank you, JJ. I'm so impressed, mate. I'm so happy. I texted him because he sent me that yesterday. Is it yesterday? Saturday morning. And I said to him, I was buzzing all day. I was working all that day as well. And I just had such a great day because that just got me buzzing completely. And I thanked him for that very much. Also, thank you to the Tattooed Gardener, which I said already. And thank you to the Country Gardener, the Rustic Badger. I really want to buy some of your stuff. Maybe when we meet up, we can hook each other up. I can buy something from you, or stihl or something. I love all your stuff. Okay, I'm going to leave you with one last quote. Now, this is my motto, and it's the philosophy I try to live by in regards to business. And here it goes. If you don't look after your customers, somebody else will. Okay, I'm going to love you and leave you. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.